time of my stalker while I get ready to cheer a basketball game. Okay, so this happened a little over a year ago. I posted it on Friends Only, but not publicly, but I thought I should just tell everybody. Okay, so starting from the beginning, it goes back to A-Day my freshman year. A-Day is our spring game, and a guy had asked me to take a picture before the game had started. I was like, sure. And then he had later DM'd me the photo on Instagram, and he was like, let me know if you need any money. Disclaimer, I've fully learned my lesson to not accept money from strangers, so that's that. But at the time, I had sent him my Venmo. Also, another disclaimer, I didn't send this guy literally anything, no pictures, no nothing. He would just text me weekly and be like, do you need money? I'd be like, yeah, because I mean, I was a college student. I know it was dumb, and my parents give me money, and I really didn't need more, but yeah. I'm not gonna get into details of like how much money he sent me, but it was like a decent amount of money. And my mom was going through my email to look for something, and she saw like all the emails you get after you get a Venmo payment or whatever, and she was like, who is this person sending you money? And I was like, I don't know, like he asked for a picture and then offered to send me money and I accepted it. And she's like, no, you do not accept any more money from him. I was like, okay. And then I blocked him on Venmo, and that was probably June. A-Day was in April. Okay, so now it's my sophomore year, and he was sending me requests on Venmo of like $1 just to like try and talk to me. And it would be like, hey, are you gonna be at this game? Are you gonna be here? So then I ended up blocking him on Venmo, right? This was probably in September. Then we had a game in, I believe, October, and this is where it took a turn. So I was at our cheer tailgate tent before one of the games with my mom and my aunt, and I got a tap on my shoulder, and I turned around, and sure enough, it's the guy who sent me a bunch of money. So he proceeds to be like, don't you remember me? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, literally so taken back by him being there, because he's not even from Alabama. And I was like, you gotta go. Like, this is the cheer tailgate tent. Like, you can't be here. Then he walked away. And at this point, I'm like super like jittery. I'm like, what are you doing here? So I start crying, and my mom's like, what's wrong? And I was like, do I tell her that this is the guy she told me to stop accepting money from? Because I'm like, I'm just gonna prove your point. So at this point, I'm walking back to the stadium because we're gonna go warm up, and I'm like trying to calm down, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna see him again or whatever. No, we're warming up in the stadium, and he was standing at the gate staring at me like he wanted to me. Like, it was bad. Like, he was just like locking eyes with me, and nobody was in the stadium really at this point because it was hours before the game. So then I go back to the locker room, and I'm crying, taking a moment to admire my skin right now because it's cleared up quite a bit. And at this point, like, everybody can see that I'm really upset, so they're like, what's going on? So I tell my coach who it is, explain the situation a little bit, and they were like, okay, if you go out there again and you see him, then you need to tell the security guard and point him out. Sure enough, we go back out there. I see the security guard, and she's like, you need to point him out. I'm like, he's over there, and I didn't want to point at him because he was staring at me. She's like, no, like, you really need to point him out. And I was like, that one, like, that's him. And he fully saw me like point at him, and then the security guard went and got him, and I watched him get dragged out of the stadium, but he was like looking at me like, oh, it's just bad. Later on that night, I ended up talking to the security guard again because she was able to like investigate him and have a conversation with him, and she was like, yeah, something was really wrong with him. I forgot to mention, like, he was also foaming at the mouth when he was at the gate, like, staring at me. And she was like, yeah, there's something like going on. I don't really know, but I asked him if he had been stalking you, and he admitted to stalking you. So I'm not really sure how long it was going on for, but yeah. Anyways, Alabama did a really good job like handling it, because as soon as I was uncomfortable, they got rid of the person and made sure I was safe. They had plenty of security guards over at the gate, and then on top of that, they had police escort me home, and then like walk me all the way to my room, and they had police spend the night outside my apartment. They called me to check up on me for like the next couple of weeks, so that was good. Anyways, moral of the story, don't accept money from people that you do not know. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. I hope everybody can learn from my mistakes. Stay safe, guys.
Okay, hi, my name is China, and they're telling lies about me on the internet. So originally, I saw this video on my way to work. I was like scrolling on my For You page, and he just popped up. And I was like, oh my God, he looks really familiar. I didn't really have any sort of significant interaction with him. So when I saw his video, I was like, oh, I wonder what his worst date is. Not knowing that he was going to fabricate a story using some of the details from when we hung out, though most of it is a complete lie. And so I don't know if he's like suffering psychologically from some sort of mental illness, God bless his heart, but a lot of this did not happen. So we'll talk about what did happen, and we'll try to figure out what would possess someone to go on the internet and lie. Okay, so for one, I never asked him to hang out. I have my notes here, so I'm going to be looking at my notes. I came with receipts as well. We'll talk about that. I never asked him to hang out. Mind you, this was 8 months ago, so imagine my surprise when I found out a man was sitting in his car talking to his phone about something that happened 8 months ago. I did impulsively say yes to hanging out with him, though, because I was going through a little situation with somebody. I'm not going to get into that, but that had me literally losing my mind. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to accept this attention from this man I met on Hinge, which we see how that worked out. I won't be doing that again. And also, I don't have dating apps anymore for reasons. Okay, so he keeps saying that he asked me to go dance. He never asked me to go dance. He actually didn't come to me with any plan at all. He told me he wanted to go and hang out in this neighborhood that I also sometimes hang out in, so I agreed, and that was it. It was that simple. We found out that we lived close to each other. He lives like 10 minutes from me. He offered to come pick me up, which, as he should, he's a man asking me to hang out, whatever. So yeah, when I came downstairs, he was standing outside of his Jeep. He helped me get in the car because it's, the big truck, whatever. Didn't think much of it other than, he was being a gentleman because he swears to God he's a gentleman, which, debatable. A little too sassy to be a gentleman, in my opinion, but, He said that I emphasized that he should have a fit on, which I find very strange because, again, we never had a conversation about what I was going to wear, what he was going to wear, or who should wear what, because there wasn't even like a specific plan. So it's like we wasn't dressed into a theme. So I don't know what he's talking about. That never happened. Maybe he just wanted to feel like he was wearing his best fit, which, if that was his best fit, mind you, I have videos of what we wore. If that was his best fit,
bombastic side eye, criminal.
I can't. Okay. But he seemed to have a lot to say about what I had on, which, again, he said that I had on a turtleneck. What did he say? He said I had on a turtleneck. Oh, he keeps saying I had on a tutu, and Doc Martens. First of all, I didn't have on a turtleneck because it was August. It was really hot. I would have burned up. I wouldn't even have made it 10 minutes in a turtleneck, babes. And then he said I had on a tutu. Again, I didn't have on a tutu. I actually had on a ruffled mini skirt, which is like one of my favorite mini skirts. It's quite cute. You'll probably see the outfit at the end or in another part of this video. And he said I had on Doc Martens, which I don't think there's anything wrong with Doc Martens. He's such a fashionista. Maybe like he could explain what's wrong with Doc Martens. I had on Rick Owens, babe. And like, for you to have so much to say about my outfit, I don't know like if he knows who that is or if he knows anything about luxury or designer, but maybe someone could explain that to him, not me, because like I don't have time to, but I had on Rick Owens. So anyway, and like, what did he want me to wear? We wasn't going to Ruth Chris. We wasn't going to Pravari. We wasn't going to fucking, you know, like, what did you want me to have on, babe? I don't know you. I just met you. You're going to get whatever I pull out. And my outfit was cute for the girls. Okay? So, he mentions my hair. So again, sassy as fuck. Why are you talking about my outfit, Mr. Fashionista? And then you're also talking about my hair. And then he said that, first of all, he said I had on a headband wig. I don't own a headband wig. I own a headband and I own a wig, and I have those two things as separate entities, but I don't have a headband wig. Even if I did have a headband wig, you know, I don't think I would wear it on a date. I mean, you could if you want to. Like, I'd probably wear it to the gym. Maybe I'll wear it to work on a day. I don't really care. But, like, I don't own a headband wig. And, like, even if I did own a headband wig and wanted to wear it, like, so what? I've seen bad bitches wear headband wigs. Do you hate women? Do you hate black women? Do you hate wigs? Like, you just have too many opinions for me. But like I said, I had a deep side part, 30-inch jet black bust down. Actually, no headband. Edges slicked. Which, again, I have a video of that, what I looked like. And mind you, he had on a bandana, which I'm sure were hiding his fuzzy braids or whatever the hell he had under that bandana. I don't care. He seems to care a lot about what my hair looked like. And then he said he's not one to judge somebody's wig, but then he went and did a whole segment on my wig and said that he called his homegirls to talk about my wig. So how would your homegirls know what my wig looks like? Mind you, so you all hate black women and you're all haters and you all hate wigs. And second of all, he just got too many opinions about that for me. If he had a balloon, babes, I would have popped it. Okay, anyway, what does your homegirl's wig look like? Either you're lying or bring her wig to the front expeditiously. And to be talking about somebody's wig during Black History Month, to me, is also crazy. Nuts. Crazy. Okay, anyway. So,
Right hand of God on the Bible, strike me down if I'm lying.
So he might be getting struck down soon. He says that when I got in his car, I took over the aux cord and I wanted to play Elvis Presley. I've never listened to Elvis Presley because he stole rock and roll from black people, so I don't even play those games. I actually did not play any music in his car until he was driving me home, and I actually played Drake. And I have a video of me playing Drake, and he called me a fuckboy for playing Drake. God forbid someone was racing my mind, and it wasn't him. So we did get to the bar. I think I got a margarita. He got a margarita. He said that I wasn't fucking with the margarita. I don't remember that because I love margaritas. And so, there was no peach schnapps or whatever on the rocks. I didn't even know you could order peach schnapps on the rocks because, as far as I know, that is an ingredient that you add to a cocktail. If you know, you know. And I think that was honestly the only drink he bought me was the margarita the whole night, other than like a cheap shot of tequila. When we was at the bar, I asked him why he was on Hinge, just making, you know, conversation, trying to get to know him. He did talk a little bit about his ex. I'm not going to talk about her. I don't know her. But to the extent of what it was, he explained they was in an open relationship because she wanted to date women. She ultimately broke up with him. I don't know why. Maybe because he's a loser. He asked me for my Instagram, which I gave to him, but he honestly refused to give me his, which I thought was really creepy because it's like, what weird mind game are you playing? Then he proceeded to go through my Instagram following in front of me, realized that we had a mutual person that we both knew, who he also told me he went on a date with, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then he proceeded to try and get information about her, which I thought was weird. The other thing he said that was really strange to me, he started talking about the people that he had seen in the past. And he was just like, yeah, I don't do sleepovers. Like, once that's good enough, we're like, they gotta go. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And I just thought that was a really off-putting thing to say to someone that you're on a date with, someone you're trying to impress, attract. Just a big turn off. Not that I was ever turned on, but I think that's worth talking about just to show you how immature and emotionally unavailable he is as a person. Immediately after that, he made some sort of like jokey joke. I guess it was funny to him, trying to check my temperature, trying to insinuate that something was gonna happen between us. And he was like, basically like, I know you a freak. I was never gonna sleep with you. Like, I don't even know like where that idea came from because they never gave that ever. And yeah, I probably could have called an Uber and went home, but when you are doing shit for the plot in the summer, no less, we just gonna see what happens because we already here now. So it's the moment you guys have all been waiting for. In this next part, I am finally going to show you what I had on, what he had on. I'll tell you, I had on a black baby tee, a mini ruffled skirt, which is actually one of my favorite skirts. I ain't never heard no complaints about it. I've worn it countless times, babes. I had on little black tights because I did not want my ass to fall out. Okay, and I had on Rick Owens, and I never said it was my best fit. There was no conversation about that. These are just my clothes that I wear. I would wear this going out, I'd wear it wherever I want to. Like, these are just my clothes. You're also going to see what he had on, and just remember that he said he pulled a fit. Remember that he said he pulled a fit, and that he was dressed so much better than me. He's not with the program.
All right, let's do it.
Right, so what did he have on? A bandana, a jersey, cargo pants. Bitch, where's the Gucci, Louis, Prada, Fendi? I thought it was your best fit. Okay. And with that being said, did I have a headband on my wig? I had a deep side part, jet black, 30 inches of, I think it was like Brazilian. I think I looked very cute. Where's the tutu? Where's my turtleneck? Where's my headband wig? Where are these things at? I can't find them. Tell me. So did I do an outfit change like a magician? This is all really funny to me because the only reason I even have these videos recorded is because at this time I was dating a lot of people. I was dating so many people, I don't even remember this man, but at the time I was posting all of this on my close friends because there was an ongoing joke that I was going to start my own dating show. So that's the only reason I have these videos, and good thing I had my discernment, because if not for me having this video, this man would literally be allowed to just play on my top. But the thing about me is, like, you're not going to play on my top, and if you are, I'm going to have the last hee hee ha ha about it. And the reason that we're just like standing here underneath this train station is because he was trying to figure out our next move, like where we were going to go and what we were going to do. But if you remember in his original video, he said the plan was to dance. But like I said, we'd never had a plan. He never asked me to go dancing. He made that up. He's literally looking at his phone, trying to figure out where we're about to go. Anyway, so he suggests this bar that he goes to sometimes. And before we even get to the bar, one of the things he said to me was, yeah, if we go, like, and you don't end up feeling it, just let me know. Like, we can head out at any point. Like, I can't make this shit up, G. The way he describes when we got to the bar, you would have thought he was Flo Millie. Dick's hard when I walk in the party. When I tell you, we walked up, showed our IDs, walked in, no one said shit to us. No one dapped him up. Not a single damn person in that establishment knew who he was. I mean, I barely know who he is. If he never said anything about me, like, he would have just been another NPC in the Matrix. Like, whatever. He said that he dapped up, like, these old heads. What old heads? He said he dapped up the DJ. I never once saw a DJ at all. What DJ? What was the name of the DJ? Who was the DJ? Who? When? Where? Huh? He has a very vivid imagination, because when I tell you, it was just the most regular bar setting ever. He acts like we went to Magic City. He acts like we went to the club. Like, we went to a random dive bar. So he did lead me to a little area. It was like a bench, like, connected to the wall. And there was just like a few people in there, like, bopping their heads, whatever. He said that he was dancing with a group of people, and they pulled him up out of his seat. And he was like with a group of people, and I came over and took him away from the vibes. That simply didn't happen. I know how to have fun. Like, I have friends that are producers. I have friends that are DJs. I have friends that throw parties. I'll go to New York to party nonstop for 24 hours. I've flown overseas to Berlin to party. Like, it's nothing for me to party. But again, we're not in a club. We are in a bar. And if we are in a bar, why don't I have a drink in my hand? Which brings me to the next part here. The only reason we left the dance floor was because I was like, do you want to get a drink? And so that's what we went to go do. I wanted to see his hunting and gathering skills, so fetch me a drink. We went to the bar. This man stood there for all of 90 seconds, spun around, looked at me, and said, well, how bad do you want this drink? Because I have a bottle of tequila in my car.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You're talking about let's go to the car to drink on a bottle of tequila? Like, I'm 17 years old and this is homecoming dance? Like, no. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. Because in my mind, I was like, at least we will be in the car. And if we're in the car, I can go home. So enough is enough. And he said that I, like, dragged him off the dance floor and he wasn't ready to leave. So did I drag you off the dance floor and, like, mope and cry and say, please take me home, I hate it here, I want to leave so bad? Or did you decide to be a freaky bum ass nigga and ask me to go to the car because you wanted to drink on a bottle of Trader Joe's tequila? Not even reposado. Remember, it's August, so it's summer. So this man starts drinking the warm bottle of tequila. Who could trust somebody like that? On the drive home, he asked me if there was anything else that I wanted to do. Like if I wanted to have a nightcap. And so I said we could go for a walk on the beach. Mind you, this beach is in my neighborhood. It is only a 3-minute walk away from my house. I go to this beach religiously. Before we got to the beach, he did say something along the lines of like his ex lived in my neighborhood and that he does not go to my neighborhood for that reason, which I'm just like, how the fuck is that my fault? At all. Which goes to show also, like, you don't need to be on a date at all, because it's like you can't even visit a neighborhood. Ain't nobody stopping me from going anywhere that I want to go. So basically I had to pull out my notes for this because the lie was so insane that I really can't believe it. When we got to the beach, it was starting to rain, and I did make a comment about how like rain offers renewal. Like it comes, it cleanses, it renews. Okay. He said that I told him it was the ending of him and his ex, and it was the beginning of us, or like something about us having a future. Do you know how damn crazy and dangerous your mind has to be to literally wake up and just come up with some crazy ass shit like that? Like, you really are feeling yourself to the maximum. Your ego is off the fucking chart. You are fucking crazy. After that, he took me home. He did give where's my hug energy, and he wanted to kiss and touch and do all that. No, thank you. He dropped me off. He went home. I assume he went home. Maybe he went back to the club to hang out with his imaginary friends. I don't give a damn where he went, as long as he was out of my face. Once I got home, I didn't even think about it. I mean, I never even had his number saved. Mind you, he did text me the next day. He wanted to check my temperature. He asked me, you know, what did you think about our date? And I texted him back. I said, it was cool. And that's all I said. And that was the end of it. And I haven't talked to this man since, haven't thought of this man since. And the fact that he went on and said that I asked to see him again, for what? He didn't give me no money. He wasn't going to give me no money. He didn't take me to eat no steak. I'm cool. Bye. So the closing statements, thank you if you stayed and cared to learn the truth. I'm sorry it took so long to get this together. I had to stop so many times, not only to remember what shit he lied about, but also like just to laugh, because it honestly is so ridiculous. Like he really, like, he just blew me so bad. This is the only attention he gonna get from me, so I hope like this did it for him. And if you could take away anything from this video, is do not ever entertain a man or talk to a man that makes TikToks in his car, or has a podcast, or thinks that he's in a bad bitch competition with you.
Hi guys, so this is going to be part 1 on a story time on how I found out I was pregnant at 16. So I have irregular periods, but I didn't have my period for a really long time, so I started to like suspect that my period could have been a little bit late. And then not only that, on top of that, I was super nauseous and like having super bad morning sickness, which at the time I thought was a stomach bug, which now I know was obviously not a stomach bug. So nothing really like screamed to me that I was pregnant other than the nauseousness. And then my friends like started to suspect it, so I went and took a pregnancy test with 3 of my friends, and it was negative, so I just went with that. But then a few weeks later, I was still having super bad nausea, and I had to go home from school due to throwing up all day. And that's when my dad sort of started to suspect I could be pregnant and like asked me if I thought I could be pregnant. Obviously I told him no, that I did not think I was pregnant, and he asked if he should buy a test, and I told him no. But later I ended up taking one anyways with my boyfriend's mom at their house. And this was actually on my boyfriend's birthday. And it was obviously positive. It came back positive relatively quick, and the line was not faint at all. So then I took another one, and it was the same thing, not a faint line, and it came back really quick. So since it was at my boyfriend's house and with his parents, my parents did not know. I called my mom and told her, and she decided that we should all drive over to my dad's house with my boyfriend's mom, my boyfriend, and my mom. And the thing is, my dad knew that I was going to be taking a test at my boyfriend's house. So we all get there and we all walk in, and he kind of just knew because he knew I was taking a test, and it was just weird for all of us to just be walking in for no reason. And then he kicked me out basically right then and there. So I lived with my mom for a few weeks, and then me and my boyfriend both ended up moving into his dad's house a few weeks later. So yeah, that's part 1 on how I found out I was pregnant at 16. There's like more stuff that happened after, and if y'all want like a part 2 or like the rest of the story, I'll do that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope y'all like this video. I hope it wasn't too long or like boring. But yeah, bye guys. Hi guys, so everyone wanted a part 2 on how I found out I was pregnant at 16. But this is gonna be kind of like stuff that happened after, because I kind of already covered how I found out. But the first thing that we did was go to a free clinic that like does an ultrasound for you, and there they told me that I was 9 weeks along. At 9 weeks they can't really tell you anything else because your baby kind of looks like this, like a little blob. But they can tell you your due date, and my due date is July 7th. And then they did give me like my first ultrasound picture of him. And then after that I had another ultrasound at 14 weeks, and they were able to tell the gender. So they told my mom and my boyfriend's mom the gender. And then we had a gender reveal with my friends, my boyfriend's friends, and like all of our family. And I found out that it was a boy. And then I have a anatomy scan, a 20-week anatomy scan coming up in 2 days. I'm actually 20 weeks I'm 20 weeks today. But I'm probably gonna vlog that, like if y'all want me to, and like take y'all along with me, I guess. But I'm also gonna make a video answering questions because I did get like quite a few questions. But that's gonna be later, so if y'all have any more questions, ask now so that I can get them in the video. Also, I just want to say I gained like 220 followers overnight, and I'm really grateful. That's actually crazy, but I am trying to get to 1,000 so that I can link my registry in my bio. So that's gonna be like my goal, or like I guess we could do like 500 for now, because a jump from 300 followers to 1,000 is kind of a lot, but if y'all can. So thank y'all for watching, and yeah, that's part 2 on how I found out I was pregnant at 16. Hey guys, so this is gonna be a video answering a few of the questions that I've gotten on some of my videos and in my DMs. I might have already answered a lot of this like in videos that I've already made, but I'm just gonna answer them again. A frequent question was, how many weeks am I and when am I due? Today I am 20 weeks and I'm due July 7th. I actually had a few people ask me if I think they should get pregnant as a teen, and I just want to make it clear that I don't want y'all to think that my page is like promoting teen pregnancy and like telling y'all to get pregnant as a teen. I 100% would never recommend to get pregnant as a teen to anyone, but that's just my opinion. If you do get pregnant as a teen, obviously I will support you, because it's a different thing to support teens that are already pregnant. But my answer is no, I would never suggest try to get pregnant as a teenager. I thought about making a more in-depth video on that, because there's just so many challenges that teen pregnancy comes with for you and your baby, and it's just never ideal. Someone asked, is my family supporting me or just my boyfriend's family? My mom is very supportive and she's helping me 100% of the way through. But my dad is like not talking to me and not supporting me, so yeah. On the other hand, his family has been so supportive and so helpful through the whole experience. Okay, it's so windy outside, sorry guys. Someone said, who do I live with? I live with my boyfriend and my boyfriend's dad and my boyfriend's little sister. Someone asked, when is my birthday? My birthday is the 29th of July, so my birthday is 22 days after the due date. A few people asked if I'm scared that I'm gonna have twins. No, I'm not scared I'm gonna have twins, because I've already had ultrasounds confirming that it's not twins. Someone commented about some other symptoms, like what are other pregnancy symptoms that I had. I'm gonna make like a whole other video about that because there's quite a few. But yeah, that's all the questions that I saw and was able to answer today. But I'm gonna try to like look at all y'all's questions and try to answer all y'all's questions, and I'm sorry if I miss any, but yeah. Okay, so this person asked what some other pregnancy symptoms that I had were, and in their comment they say that they're having cramps. First I just want to say I also had cramps, and I even had light spotting, which is known as implantation. My main one was obviously nausea, but some of the other ones were I had to pee like so much, and I had to pee in the middle of the night, which had never happened to me before. One that I don't hear people talk about a lot is dreams. In the first trimester especially, I was having dreams every single night, and they were super vivid, and like I could remember them every morning whenever I woke up, which I rarely had dreams before I got pregnant, so that was like a big one for me. And I also didn't know that that was a pregnancy symptom until after I found out I was pregnant. I was sleeping so much. I started going to sleep at like 5 o'clock, which before I could like stay up all night if I really wanted to. And then just out of nowhere, like I was going to sleep at 5 o'clock every night, and I was also taking multiple naps throughout the day. Also, I had mood swings. I was really sensitive, and I was crying over everything, which is a reason that I thought my period was gonna come. Also, I had one of my friends tell me that I looked rough, so I guess like first trimester you're going through it and you might look a little rough. That's all I can think of right now, and that's just what I personally experienced. I know there's definitely more pregnancy symptoms, but that's just what I had. So yeah. Okay guys, so ignore my skin. I just self-tanned, so it looks kind of crazy. I've gotten this question a few times, and this comment wasn't even to me, but I couldn't like find any of the comments that were asking me, or like I can't reply to a DM. So I'm doing online, or really it's not even online, it's just like homeschooling, and I do my work on paper, and at the end of the month I bring my work up there every month. And I'm gonna graduate in May, so I will be graduated before I have the baby. But yeah, I did not drop out, and I do still plan to go to college. So yeah, that's all. Hey guys, so I'm gonna be answering some more questions because I already did a video like answering questions, and I got more that I didn't answer in that video. Also, if y'all see my boyfriend in the back, just ignore him. Everyone wants a meet the boyfriend video, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't think he's gonna want to be in a video, but I'll ask him. Okay, so someone asked how is my sleep. I'm looking at a little thing for the questions. Honestly, my sleep is normal in the second trimester. I have a lot more energy, so like I'm definitely up during the day. Sometimes I'll take a nap if I just get like really exhausted, but usually I just stay up during the day, and then I go to sleep around like 10, but lately it's been like I've been staying up till 1. Okay, someone asked where are my lashes from. Hold on. Okay, so these are the lashes that I use. I get them from Amazon, and this is really messed up container, but it's just called Fad Lash. I can go to my Amazon purchases and get the link for anyone that wants it. I'll do a whole video like doing my lashes and like, you know, whatever. My birth plan, at the moment I don't have a plan. I need to come up with one, but I just haven't. At the moment my plan is get the epidural when the contractions start hurting, so that I'm not like worried about the epidural too bad, and then don't die. That's a really bad plan. Also, I don't want students, I know that, I don't know. I need to look into that and like get a paper and write down everything, but right now I don't know. Everyone's been asking his name, if we have his name picked out. We do have his name picked out, but I just don't know when I'm gonna share it or if I'm gonna share it until he's born. But yes, we do have his name picked out, and he is taking his dad's last name. People asked, was my mom mad? No, my mom was not mad, like, at all. She was super supportive from, like, the very, very beginning. It was, like, a different story with my dad, but my mom was not mad. Okay, I don't have to answer this, but people keep saying, why weren't you on birth control? This is why birth control exists. I just want to say it's different for everybody. But I was supposed to get on birth control on the first of the year, and I was going to get an implant under my arm. So my dad was not letting me get on the pill until that happened. So I couldn't just get on it at the time. I had to wait. There's like a little more about that, but I'm just not going to get into it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and if y'all have any more questions, y'all can ask me. I kind of just look at my DMs, like I don't answer usually, so if y'all want to just like comment, yeah. Also, I do want to go live. I think I'm gonna start going live like tomorrow or the next day, because tomorrow I do have an appointment and I'm gonna vlog it or whatever. My goal is 1,000 followers. We already got like 700 in 2 days, so I think we can definitely get there, because I want to link my baby registry in my bio just in case anyone wants to buy anything. But yeah, that's all the questions that I saw and looked through. So if y'all have any more, just comment.
Oh, y'all, do I have a fucking story for you? I am so heated right now. Like, I am literally so heated. This happened hours ago, and I am literally still riding over it. Like, my blood is boiling to the brim of the fucking pot. Get ready with me for bed while I tell you what the hell happened to me at work today, bro. So, as some of you know from my previous videos of me, like, whatever, talking about it, I'm a waitress. I am 17 years old. I'm a 17-year-old waitress. Like, whatever, I'm not perfect, okay, but I do my best. And mind you, I literally started waitressing not even 3 weeks ago. Like, this job is so new to me. Like, I just have not experienced anything like this before, and I've just never experienced people be so rude and so ignorant, like, in my life. Like I really have, but, like, just not in this environment, you know what I mean? Like, I believe in, like, always just being respectful and being nice to people, especially the people that are making and feeding you your fucking food. Ignore this big gargantuous red spot on my forehead. I just tried to pop a bullseye pimple in the center of my eyebrows. Okay, so I start my shift at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm supposed to be working from 4 to 7. I walk in. I tell the hostess, I'm like, okay, please seat me. Like, I'm trying to make some money on tonight, right? I'm trying to make that hella money. So whatever, she seats me within the next, like, 5 minutes. This is my first table of the night. Your first table always sets up how you feel the rest of the night. If it's a nice table, you have a good night. If it's a mean table, you just feel like shit the entire time. And of course, I had to get this bitchy table. And for everyone who's been asking, I'm going to be listing my skincare products. This is the face wash that I use. You can get it at Target. It's amazing. I love it so much. I usually use it with the exfoliator as well. All of my skincare comes from the same exact brand. I never really venture outside of the brand because I have very sensitive skin. I'm very prone to breakouts. And so I like to keep all of it within the same brand just so that I know that all the ingredients are going to go together and they're not going to, like, have a reaction to each other and mess up my skin. Okay, I just washed my face, and I'm going to be using the Versed Instant Resurfacing Mask. I use this about 2 times a week for a couple minutes, and it's great. Okay, so mind you, as I said, this is my first table of the night. I walk over, I do my thing. Whatever, hi, how are you? What can I get you to drink? Literally, I don't even finish my sentence! And she's just like immediately starts like listing off her drinks and like whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm writing them down. They wanted 2 Coca-Colas, and she literally came up with this drink that is not on the menu. I've literally never heard of it in my life. She was like, I want an unsweet tea with peach syrup. And I'm thinking to myself, I have never heard anybody order that. Maybe it's a new drink or something. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, I can do that for you. Whatever. So I go back there and I ask my coworker, I'm like, what is an unsweet tea? Do we have peach syrup? Or is this lady just fucking crazy and making shit up in her head? And he's like, yeah, I have no clue what that is. Just put peach tea in the iced unsweet tea and call it a day. And so that's exactly what I did. So whatever, I bring their drinks out to them, I bring them bread, I bring them whatnot, like, I do all the things. I'm like, okay, what can I get you guys? The one lady is like, I want a cheeseburger with fries. And I'm like, okay, what kind of cheeseburger? Like, look at the menu and tell me what you want off the menu. You can't just tell me that you want a cheeseburger and fries. Go to McDonald's if you want a cheeseburger and fries. You're at a restaurant, order off the fucking menu. So I'm like, okay, and I just put her down for the barrel burger. I'm like, all right, barrel burger, whatever. And then the other lady, she orders a shrimp and salmon or some shit, or just salmon some shit. Smoky southern salmon shit. So I put that down, whatever. Her husband orders a steak strip with shrimp, whatever. So I go back, I put their order in, I'm running around, my entire section is full, okay? Literally 5 minutes. 5 minutos. After I walk away from their table, my coworker Tommy comes up to me and he's like, hey, your table's asking for you. I'm like, what the fuck could they possibly want? It's been like 8 minutes since I last was at that table. Turns out, these walking watermelon looking hoes guzzled down their drinks that I gave them in less than 5 minutes. And they're like, can we please get some refills? I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm sorry about that. I take their drinks. I'm like, I knew right then and there that this was going to be a fucking problem. I knew I was going to end up pissed off by the end of this seating. So whatever. I refill their drinks. I take them back. I'm running around. I'm taking orders. I'm doing all this shit. I'm waiting for their food. About 20 minutes go by and their food has not come out yet. And I whatever. I'm back in the back in the kitchen, like, doing my thing, trying to, like, get everything together. Oh, actually, I had just taken their food to their table. It was, like, maybe 20 minutes. I had just taken their food to their table. My manager comes up to me, and he's like, hey, the lady from your table is looking for you. I'm like, what the fuck could she possibly want now? So I walk over to her, I'm like, hey, ma'am, like, is there a problem? And she's like, I'm just wondering the reason why I've been sitting here for 45 minutes waiting for my food when your restaurant is basically empty. Mind you, my section is full. I literally am tending to 5 fucking tables. I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I just brought your food to your table. Like, I'm sorry about the wait. Like, is there anything I can do? She's like, no, I'm just wondering. I would need an explanation. Oh, and another thing. It wasn't even like I had told her. Okay, rewind. So I go up to her, I'm like, ma'am, what's the problem? She's like, I'm just wondering an explanation why my food has been on 40 fucking minutes. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I just brought it to your table. I was about to say it. She goes, you just brought it. You just brought it to the table, thank you. No words. So I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Is there anything I can do for you? She's like, I just want to eat my food. Just want to eat my food. I'm like, okay, go sit down and eat your food then. Walk to the table and go eat your food. So whatever. She goes back. She sits down. I walk over there. I'm like, hey, guys, is everything, like, is everything looking okay? Whatever. I bring out the girl's burger, and she's like, there's lettuce and tomato on this, and I asked for just cheese. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I don't cook the food. I can take it back for you and take everything off. Like, I'm really sorry about the mix-up. And she's like, okay, thanks. And I'm like, yep, you're welcome. Like, it's literally just attitude, like, pure attitude. Like, I don't know what I did. Like, and I know, because I didn't do anything. It's literally just the way people are so entitled, the way that they act towards people that are literally serving their food. I am not your slave. I am your waitress. So I take her burger back, I take the lettuce off, I take the tomato off, I bring it out to her. There's a stick that goes through the burger, and on the top was 2 little pickles, like 2 little circle pickles on the top. And I bring it out to her, and I'm like, I'm really sorry about the mix-up. She's like, I asked for nothing on my burger. There's pickles on this. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, you can take them off. No! No! It's contaminated! It's contaminated! I cannot eat this. This is contaminated. Contaminated? It's pickles! Grab the pickles with the fingers that God gave you and put them on the plate. You don't have to eat the pickles. The bun's not contaminated with pickle juice. Like you'll go digging in that booty, but God forbid there's a tomato and some pickles on your damn sandwich. So I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll take your burger back and have them redo your burger. I'll have them put a new bun on it for you. I'm sorry that your burger is contaminated by pickles. So I take it back. I talk to my boss. I'm like, look, dude, I'm about to go off on this lady. You need to go talk to them right now because I am not going to be able to hold my tongue. Oh, and another thing that she did that I forgot, that I can't believe I forgot, when I took the plate back from her to go take the pickles off, I'm like, I'm sorry about that, ma'am. She goes, yeah, whatever. So she literally, quite literally waves at me like I'm her slave, like I'm a dog. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. Am I in an alternate universe where people are just allowed to treat others like this? So I go back and I tell my boss, I'm like, I'm seriously serious right now. You need to go tell those big Oompa Loompa ass hoes that I am not serving them anymore, that they can eat their fucking food and get the hell out of this restaurant because I will not be giving them any more service. He ends up, telling them that and giving them the meal for free, so that they literally just sit down and shut the hell up. And, like, that literally wasn't even it. I went over to the table again, and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry for all the mix-ups. Like, I thank you guys for being patient, like, whatever. And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. I just walked away at that point because what can you even do? At the end of the day, people are so ignorant, so entitled, so self-centered, and I have to experience that shit every single day at work. Please tip your waitresses. Please be nice to your waitresses. Please be respectful. We literally run the entire restaurants. Please and thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the time that my dad traumatized me so badly it put me in the hospital. So this was in 2020. I was 12 years old and it was my first week of high school. So yeah, not a great start to my first year. So my dad tells me and my sister that him and his new wife, because my parents split up when I was a baby, he says that they are going to take us to Donegal. If you don't know what that is, it is in, like, it's at the top of the country. And so basically, we are kind of dreading it because obviously there's not a very good track record with this man. He was an awful fucking father. Like, genuinely, I'm still affected to this day and I don't even talk to him anymore. Me and my sister dreading this holiday, absolutely dreading it, because at the same time we also hated his wife, and we had a good reason to hate his wife, but we were so young that we did not realize he was driving her fucking crazy. But we were just like, you know what, it's been going pretty good recently. Like, he hasn't been pulling any insane stuff. Well, he was obviously pulling insane stuff, but we were so used to it that we were like, oh, it's kind of mild compared to all the other things, right? So we weren't too bothered, but we were just like, we're just gonna go on this holiday. It's only for a week, like, we'll be fine. And it's our last week of summer, so we'll just go. So we go on this holiday, and for the first, I think maybe, I want to say like 3 days, I don't really remember. This holiday was supposed to last about a week, I think. First 3 days, everything was going as well as it could have with those two. And so then everything starts to go downhill. Now, I don't remember this very much. I have it all written on my iPad because my sister was there. She remembers it a lot better than I do because I was so fucking traumatized. This was the 4th morning of the holiday. We wake up to fucking screaming. I have never heard screaming like this before. Like, absolute, like, murder. Like, it sounded like they were fucking killing each other. So obviously, me and my sister are like, oh, yay, it's happening again. So they're screaming at each other. Nothing's really new, but we could kind of tell this time that there was something a bit more, like, serious about this time. Like, we were just kind of like, oh, this isn't great. So we kind of start panicking. And then his wife takes the car and drives off. Mind you, this is the only car that we have. And she speeds off. She doesn't come back for hours. Me and my sister kind of assumed that she has gone to her brother's house because he lived in the county that we were visiting. So nighttime rolls around, she pulls back up. I don't remember what time, but it was late enough at this point. I think it could have been like, I want to say like 9 p.m. So it was like just getting dark because it was like the end of summer. She comes back, I think, and they obviously start screaming at each other again. Now, me and my sister kind of used some context clues, and we were like, they're screaming at each other because he's an alcoholic, which wasn't anything new. They always thought about how much he drank because He loved his Guinness. And when I say he loved his Guinness, I mean he loved it more than his 2 kids. So they're fucking screaming at each other. Me and my sister are freaking out because they have never fought like this before, ever. And we were very, very used to fighting growing up with that man. And then this is where everything goes downhill. Everything. Like, I did not think it was going to be this bad. My dad starts telling me and my 13-year-old sister to pack our bags. And we were like, what do you mean pack our bags? We're not leaving for another 4 days. And he goes, no, we're leaving now. So we start freaking out. We start running into our bedrooms. We don't know what's going on. He starts telling us she was throwing cups, she was throwing plates, like all this stuff. And we heard a lot of racket, but we honestly think it was him being physically aggressive because, like, I don't think it was her. So me and my sister, we grab what we can. He tells us to leave all the unimportant stuff there. We're 12, so we don't know what's important and what's not. We're still kids, like we're still babies. So we end up getting into the car. It's obviously pretty late at this point, but we get into the car and then we're like, holy shit, wait, what about the dogs? Because we brought our 2 dogs with us and we can still hear them screaming. Mind you, the car doors were completely closed. The windows were up and the house, like the door to the house was completely closed. That's how loud they were screaming. And the car was parked like around the corner from the house. It was parked like out the back, but it was like we shouldn't have been able to hear that. So then my dad gets in the car and he starts telling us that we need to go now. And we don't really understand what's happening, but he's telling us that she was throwing plates, she was throwing cups at his head. And honestly, I don't know if that's true, but if she was, good on her. I support that fully. We get in the car, he drives off and he starts telling us we need to go. He's coming after us. And we're like, who? What the fuck are you talking about now? Like, who's coming after us? What are you talking about? And he says his wife's brother, who lives in Donegal, was coming after us. And when I tell you, I shat myself because he's a big fucking guy. Like, my dad's like 5'7" at most. And that's me being generous. He's a small guy anyway, so we're fucking petrified that this big fucking 6'4" dude's gonna come after us and kill our dad. Yeah, we're speeding down the motorway. Mind you, I'm convinced to this day that man was drunk. I'm absolutely 150,000% convinced he was drunk because it's him. Of course he was fucking drunk. So we are on the motorway. It is maybe 10 p.m. at night at this point, and we live in Dublin, so Donegal is like a long time away. What, like a 3-4 hour drive? I'm not sure. So we're on the motorway / highway, and he starts swerving. He starts swerving on the road. And mind you, while he's like doing all this, he's also like saying all this insane stuff about my mother, who split up with him when I was 3 months old. And when she tried to do that, he told her he had throat cancer, so she wouldn't leave him. Of course she fucking left him. He's telling us all these terrifying stories and he's trying to guilt trip us, and we're not really falling for it because I knew at this point my sister was a little bit more naive. I'm not trying to be mean, Ruby, but you were. So she kind of fell for this stuff a lot easier than I did. But he was telling us all this stuff. He was saying that just stuff about my mother, saying that he's still in love with her. He like never should have messed up things with her. He still wants to be with her. Like all this insane stuff. He's saying stuff about his ex-girlfriend, saying that this woman who he used to date got her sister to punch her in the face to make it look like it was my dad. She didn't do that. Anyway, he's trying to tell us all this stuff. And in reality, that woman lived with him for 6 days before leaving him, because that's how fucking infuriating he is to be around. And I mean that. Like, I fucking hate him. So we're driving. He starts swerving because he's fucking drunk. He doesn't know where the fuck he is. He pulls over, starts telling us we're lost. I don't know if we were lost, but he starts trying to freak us out, and it's working. He then calls his parents and tells them that they need to pick us up in Monaghan, in the middle of nowhere. Like, the middle of fucking nowhere. We were freaking the fuck out. So about 2 hours pass. We're sitting in a Circle K in the fucking car park. He's running around the fucking Circle K like a schizophrenic person, saying he's coming after us, he's coming after us. He was not coming after us. This man, who was his wife's brother, was not coming after us. He was literally just trying to freak his 2 small children out. So then our grandparents get there. I'm not close with this side of the family at all. Like, at all. Like, we were never close. But when they get there, I felt so unsafe with this man that I broke down in my grandmother's arms. Completely broke down the second I saw her. And as much as I hated that side of the family, I was just so happy to be around someone who wasn't him, because I've never felt more unsafe around anyone than I have my own father. So we're driving in the middle of the night. He takes his own car because he doesn't want to put us at risk, or so he says, even though he had already been putting us at risk for the past 12 years of our lives. So also, while this is all happening, me and my sister are trying to get through to our family at home. We're trying to get through to my mother's side of the family. We're ringing my mom, we're ringing my stepdad, we're ringing like grandparents, like even like aunties and uncles, like people that we're not very close with, were just ringing anyone, trying to let them know what's going on, and no one had their phone on. So anyway, I wake up the next morning. I slept in my grandparents' house in her spare bedroom, and I'm physically debilitated. So we finally get into contact with my mother, and oh fuck, I just got mascara everywhere. Yeah. And when we get home, obviously all hell has broken loose. My whole family's freaking out. They're asking us what happened, and I can't even speak at this point. I'm just crying. Like, I'm just hysterically crying. So everything calms down, and we're watching a movie, and I'm telling my mom that I've had a headache since last night. I'm freaking out. Like, I have a pounding headache. It was worse than a migraine. And that was like really scary to me, because I was normally the sibling or the child who had dealt with all of this traumatic stuff better. But anyway, my mom's very concerned at this point. She takes me to the hospital. They sit there and they tell me, we need to do an MRI scan on you because we think you're having a brain hemorrhage. What? They tell me, 12-year-old me, this is the week before I go into school, you are possibly having a brain hemorrhage. We need to get you checked. So before I find out that I was obviously not having a brain aneurysm, I'm freaking out because my grandmother had just had one the year before. So I was like, what the fuck? Then my dad shows up to the hospital and he starts telling me and my sister that him and his wife are getting a divorce, and we're like, finally. And then 1 week later, they're moved back in with each other, living together as if nothing's wrong. And they don't get divorced for another 2 years, and then they have a baby. So yeah, and then I had to go into my first week of high school and live with that. And I still haven't processed it. And now I can't be in the car with any man in the middle of the night because I start freaking out. So yeah, that's how my dad scared the shit out of me so badly the week before I started high school that I had to be hospitalized because they thought I was having a brain hemorrhage.
I was with my husband for 6 years before we got married. And I thought that that was enough time to vet him properly, get to know the good, the bad, the ugly. And it wasn't. We've been married for 3 years. So after almost 10 years together, he still found a way of surprising me. And not in a good way. And I believe in sticking by someone as much as you can and fighting for a relationship as much as you can. But there comes a time where you have to do what is best for your kids and for my girls, for them to live safely and peacefully. I need to move forward in life as a single mom. I have a lot of support from friends and family, thankfully, but I am terrified. I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past year, per my husband's request. So I have no job, no savings, no 401k, no health insurance. My entire life for the past year, I've been dependent on him. And so I am very, very anxious, but I know that this is the right thing. And so I'm going to be brave for myself and for my girls because I want what's best for them. My heart breaks that they won't remember a time where their parents were together. And I don't know how much their dad is going to be able to be in their lives. I want them to have a dad like I had, who was there all the time and was super hands-on and could be trusted to be a safe place. My girls deserve that, and I'm so angry that they won't have that. I also feel like I can't trust anyone now. I spent 6 years vetting this person before we were married. I thought there's nothing that can happen. We'll be married forever. And he still found a way of surprising me. And so I feel like I can't trust anyone ever again. So if you want to come along with me, as much as I am able to, I'm going to document my journey because I'm scared, but I hope that there will be a lot of wins along the way. And I know other women have been in my shoes. And if someone else in a similar position can feel encouraged by what I'm doing and by the wins that I hope are right around the corner, then it's worth it. So that's the update.
I've been in the bad habit of covering for my husband and keeping things from my family because I thought we could fix the problems, and I didn't want everyone to know the extent of the bad things, because with my family, I knew that they would never forgive him for some of the things that he's done. So up until now, I've been protecting him, and I'm done doing that. So I'll tell you what happened. I apologize, though. It's going to be a longer video. My husband, we've been together for almost 10 years. He's always liked to drink, but over the past couple of years, he has turned into a severe alcoholic. It went from just a couple beers, here and there, to he's drinking every single day, is over the legal limit more often than he is sober. Back in November, he was hospitalized after drinking excessively. His BAC was 0.3, and the doctor told us that they consider 0.4 and above to be a lethal amount of alcohol in your system. People do die at that amount, and he was not far off. So he went, by my request, and did a week of inpatient rehab at a facility about 3 hours away. And it made no difference. He came home and continued drinking with no plan of legitimately moderating his drinking. Heaven forbid he actually considered quitting. He's an addict, and he's going to have to figure that out himself. But rehab didn't work for him, and he didn't do any of the outpatient treatment that he was supposed to do. So it was for nothing. A couple days ago, he had 3 8% tall boys before 3 p.m. I think it was like a random Thursday. I think this happened on Thursday. So before 3 o'clock, he was already heavily intoxicated, and he likes the tall boys because he can say that he's only had 3 beers, but it's basically like having 6. And 8% is a heavy percent. So it was affecting him, and I had finally had enough, and I told him I wanted a divorce. So then he proceeded to drink even more because he was upset about that. That evening, we were in the kitchen feeding dinner to our toddler, and I was holding our 6-week-old, and he was so intoxicated he couldn't stand up straight. And so I took out my phone and was recording him, which I've done before, just to show him in the morning how badly the alcohol affects him, because he doesn't realize it and he always minimizes it. I've done this before. He knows I've done it before. I've shown him the videos. It's never been an issue. He's never gotten violent before. But on Thursday, he did. So I was holding our 6-week-old, and in front of our girls, he put his hands on me repeatedly. And so I called the police, and he was arrested for domestic violence. And he spent the night in jail. So he's out of jail now. He's staying at his mom's house. She is 100% supportive of me and my girls. She called me. She said, obviously, I can't just let him be on the street because he's not allowed to be around me right now. She said, he didn't have any other place to go. He's my son, and I understand. I'm not mad at her for letting him stay there, because I'd much rather he be there than at our home. So I have a couple of weeks to decide if I want to press charges. I have a call scheduled with a divorce lawyer on Monday, a consult, and I have another one that I want to set up a consult with. And then my dad and stepmom are, they're coming home from their vacation at the beginning of the week, and I've already asked them if they wouldn't mind coming over to our house. I've not told them why, because this is a conversation that needs to happen in person. But my stepmom went through divorce as a stay-at-home mom with kids involved. And so I think her advice will be really useful. From what I understand, because he's not allowed to contact me, from what my mother-in-law is telling me, my husband is still very much in denial about what's going to happen from here. He thinks that things can be fixed and that I will forgive him. But this is just something that he can't come back from, and I don't want my girls to think that this is acceptable, that it's okay to live this way, and that, oh, well, he said he's sorry, I'll give him another chance. No. My husband is not the biggest guy. For perspective, I'm 5'3", he's 5'9", but he is well over 200 pounds, and he is an athlete. He's a physical guy. He's very strong. He played collegiate hockey. He's a very, very, very strong person. I am not. And so even after he put his hands on me and I got away, he was physically intimidating me to try and prevent me from getting to our toddler. And it was terrifying. And I don't know why I would ever want to be in that situation again. So I know that the next year of my life is going to be, next couple years of my life are going to be insanely difficult. From what I understand, a contested divorce with kids, which is, I expect him to fight it. It takes a minimum of probably 9 months to over a year in Michigan, where I live. And then even after the divorce, custody battles, child support battles, the works. I don't know where I'm going to live. We're going to have to sell the house. We have pets. I don't know what's going to happen with the pets. I don't know what's going to happen with all of our furniture, all of our possessions. But I know that regardless of what the struggle is for me and my girls, they deserve better, and I certainly deserve better. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm not sad about the end of my marriage. I'm sad for my kids. But I know that this is the right thing to do. And like I said, I'm done covering for him.
I said, nope. That's disgusting. Damn, so how'd you get back home? You had the Uber?
I agreed to let my husband see our oldest today. He is staying at his mom's house. She is there to supervise. It'll be good for our toddler to burn some energy and get to see and play with her dad, and she's safe. But when I went and dropped her off, my husband stayed inside, and my mother-in-law came outside to help me transfer everything, and he got me stuff for Valentine's Day. And I know for a fact he went and got this stuff today because I saw on Life 360 that he had gone to the store. I'm sure if I checked like our Kroger purchase history, it would show up there. So let's open it and see. Cards for me and our girls. I'll read that later. Cosmic brownies, which I love. Zebra cakes, which fine. I snack like a 10-year-old boy. Oh my god. Monster. That's my favorite flavor. Candy from the dollar store. More candy from the dollar store. More candy from the dollar store. Brownies.
the best donuts ever. So that's appreciated. Again, I eat like an 11-year-old boy. And more Monster. Like, part of me feels guilty for even wanting to touch any of this. Like, I feel like if I drink the Monster and if I break into the food, it's gonna be like I'm okay with what happened, or I'm accepting it, or I'm on the path to forgiving him. I don't know. He won't know, at least for a while. And he had to borrow my mother-in-law's car to do it, and I kind of wish she hadn't let him. Because I just don't know, like, I don't want to throw it out. Especially the Monster. I don't know. Do I eat it? Do I not? I don't know.
Okay, and turkey for you.
No, it's
okay. I can give you a small piece.
So I got a lot of questions, similar questions on my last video where I was going through what my husband bought me for Valentine's Day, and I wanted to answer a couple of the common questions that I was getting. A lot of people are asking, like, why does it matter what day he got you the stuff? This is why it matters. I went and bought Valentine's Day stuff for my husband, I think Tuesday of last week. He was arrested on Thursday for domestic violence. So when I bought the stuff, I bought it not feeling super lovey-dovey about Valentine's Day, but wanting to mark the occasion because I still at that point had a little bit of hope that maybe we could get things back on track. We were a couple that we probably the first 3 years of our relationship never had a single fight. And people used to compliment us on how well suited we were for each other. And so it's been really hard to accept that it's not going to work out. So I still bought him stuff thinking that maybe we could get things back on track or get things to a better place. So if he had bought me this stuff for Valentine's Day before the domestic violence incident on Thursday, then I would have seen it as just, oh, well, he bought the stuff for me for Valentine's Day anyway. He already had it. But the fact that he assaulted me and then went to jail and then after all of that went to the store and bought me stuff, to me that's a manipulation tactic. He's trying to buy me back. He didn't already have this stuff. He's everything that he's getting, everything that he's writing on the card is with the idea in mind of trying to win me back and make up for what he did on Thursday. So to me, the intent is very different. That's why I wasn't sure if it would send a signal to him or send the wrong message if I opened it. It's okay. Not you, Miss Rachel. So then the other question that I kept getting a lot was, well, why are you tracking his location? We've been sharing our locations with each other since we were engaged. We've had Life 360 on our phones for forever. Now, when he was arrested, I immediately turned off my location, so he cannot see where I am. He never changed that setting on his phone, and I never changed my notifications. So what happened was he went for a drive. He's still sharing his location with me. I didn't really think about it beforehand, but I got a notification on my phone that he had gone for a drive, and I was kind of surprised by it. And with it being a DV situation, I was nervous about where he was. And so I looked to see where he was. And I saw that he was at Kroger and then the dollar store, and then he went back to his mom's house. So I'm not looking at his location 24/7, but it does give me peace of mind knowing that I can check his location and make sure he's not coming to the house or anything like that. It just makes me feel a little bit safer. So I'll probably keep it that way. It makes me feel like I have a little bit more of a sense of security because his mom only lives 4 minutes away from us, which is a blessing, but now also a little bit of a curse. So I'll continue to keep my settings so I can see where he is at all times, just for safety and peace of mind. But yeah, I'm not like stalking him and staring at his location 24/7. So I think those were the two main questions. Again, like, this is all just uncharted territory for me. You know, some people think I shouldn't be sharing this online, but I need advice, and I don't have a huge support system, and so this is what I'm doing.